Welcome to the lecture series on NCC subjects. Honorable Commanding Officer, respected Associate NCC officers, dear permanent instructors, cadets and students. We are discussing national integration. National integration, as we understand, is the feeling of togetherness of the citizens of a country. It is in fact very necessary for the growth and development of every nation. And we Indians must have the feeling of national integration because our country is famous for unity in diversity. We have numerous religions, castes, creed, customs, conventions, rituals, and languages here. And hence, we should always be very cautious about the dangers that can just lurk into abolish the kind of peace and harmony in the country. And national integration is the kind of awareness and conviction in the mind of every citizen that no matter what happens, whatever be my religion, whatever be my culture, whatever be my language, I'm an Indian, I will always be true to my country, and my country is my religion. My country is my God. Such kind of a feeling of togetherness and unity and solidarity to the Constitution and whatever the country is, what we mean by national integration. And in this lecture series, in fact, a number of lecture series we have in the topic national integration, and we are discussing the religions of the country India. This is Captain Binoy Maragil, Associate NCC Officer, St. Joseph's College, Devbury, Kozhikode, Kerala, India. Today we are discussing Buddhism. As we know, Hinduism, Jainism and Buddhism are three ancient religions of India which are having a lot of similarities. And when we think of the founding of Buddhism, we have to go to, of course, a very old period of 5th century BC. 5th century BC, in fact, Gautam Buddha founded the great religion Buddhism. Gautam Buddha was son of the Indian prince Sudodhan, and in fact he was born in a royal family in Lumbini in the present Nepal. And of course Gautam Buddha was rather unhappy about the kind of sorrow and suffering that prevailed in the world. He was just asking, he was rather unhappy about the suffering and the kind of pain and sorrow and difficulty and misery encountered by many people, especially the poor people. And he thought, why is life like this? Some people just enjoying all the blessings of life, all the privileges of life. Some people, okay, so he could not find answer to most of the problems of the world, and he wanted to, of course, solve these problems like sorrow, misery, suffering, and the kind of difficulties in the world. And he abandoned his house and, of course, began to go in search of enlightenment or spirituality or purity of soul, or what we call moksha or nirvana. So Gautam Buddha found the enlightenment while meditating under a peepal tree at the age of 42. So he continued, he left his royal family, he left his beautiful wife, he left his relatives and friends and everybody, and he just went in search of enlightenment. And he found enlightenment during meditation one day under a peepal tree, and that was at the age of 42. And of course, he preached that liberation or salvation or emancipation from the cycle of rebirth or nirvana can be attained by path of self-purification. With, of course, this path of self-purification must be based on the doctrine of love and mercy. So, through the love and mercy, one can purify one's soul and attain nirvana, alright, or rather what is called emancipation from this particular bondage of the world. And Buddhism, in fact, is essentially a religion of kindness, humanity, and equality. So it denounces all claims to any superiority on the basis of the birth of caste. So casteism has been just relinquished by, or this is in fact a religion which does not give any kind of significance to casteism. Caste, creed, and such things have no. Everybody is, of course, the son of God, avatars of divinity. That is the very concept of Buddhism. And by practicing meditation and by just moving in the path or doctrine of love and mercy, anyone can have emancipation or nirvana. That is, of course, the basic belief of Buddhists. And when we think of Buddhism, of course, we have to remember the very basic or most important, most significant message Buddha, Gautama Buddha spoke about the kind of life which is based on love and mercy. So one will have love and mercy if one is just leading a good life. And in order to lead a very good life, that will of course take us to emancipation or liberation, Gautama Buddha came forward with what is known as Noble Eightfold Path of Buddhism. And we must be having an idea about the Noble Eightfold Path of Buddhism. Every religion must be having some kind of doctrines like that. And this particular Noble Eightfold Path of Buddhism is in fact a summary of Buddhist practices leading to liberation from samsara, that is of course the painful cycle of rebirth. So let us see the most important, rather all the 8 principles from the Eightfold Path of Buddhism. So Buddhists or Gautama Buddha asserted that one must have the following values in his life. Like the first one is right view. Our perspective, our point of view, our view must be the best and the right. So if one is having the right view, of course his life will take him to emancipation. And the second idea or ideal in the Eightfold Path of Buddhism is right resolve. Take proper resolution, right view, right resolve, right appropriate or suitable, the best kind of resolve. And the third point is of course right speech. Speak the best, speak the appropriate, most significant, most suitable language or words that would of course help your listener, your friend, the other person to of course have something that is of course good. So right speech, let's not speak anything that is not necessary, unwanted, bad and anything. That is right speech. And the next fourth point in the Noble Eightfold Path of Buddhism is right conduct. Conduct is very, very essential. One must have very good conduct, right? Conducting ourselves, good behavior, just dealing with others, and it is always, of course, very, very important. So Buddhists also gave a lot of significance to right conduct. And the fifth point is, of course, right livelihood. Right livelihood, the proper kind of leading a life. One has to, of course, similarly, how should you live? You should, of course, lead a very proper, right kind of livelihood. Then next is of course right effort. We must work hard, and the work we do must be the best and the suitable and the right. Okay, so a lot of people do a lot of things, and all that may not be the right effort. So let right effort come from everybody. That would be leading him to what is known as emancipation or liberation. And now we have the seventh important point from the Eightfold Path of Buddhism. That is of course right mindfulness, very important. Our mind must be full of the correct, the right vision and thoughts and dreams and ideas. That is the seventh one, right mindfulness. And the eighth point is right samadhi. That is of course right we live our life, and by the of course right each and every day we may just pass away. Our death can be any moment, right? And every day we must have the kind of we should live a very good life, and we should have a feeling of contentment, and we must have the kind of proper right samadhi, or rather of course right ending, or rather becoming one with of course the oversoul, right? That is of course these are the eightfold path of Buddhism: right view, right resolve, right speech, right conduct, right livelihood, right effort, right mindfulness, and right samadhi. So these are the most important points we have to remember. So first of all, we have to remember great name of Gautam Buddha, and of course the very place Lumbini, and that is in present Nepal. And of course this is in fact a group of Buddhism is a religion of a group of monks and people who are of course who were during the time of Gautam Buddha wandering ascetics, all right, monks who practice of course right very special kind of life which is based on the doctrine of love and mercy. Okay, so in fact let us have a very clear idea of the principle of Buddhism, and of course it helps us to respect the religion Buddhism. It also helps us to respect the people who believe in Buddhism. It also helps us to understand the fact that these principles and values can of course just bring meaning to our own life. And now of course with this we just come to the end of our discussion on Buddhism, and next session we are discussing another great religion of India, that is of course Sikhism. Thank you so much for listening. May God bless you all. Jai Hind.